Hi, I'm Lori O'Connell. I hold a 4th degree black belt in Kanryu Jiu-Jitsu and have been training in the martial arts for over 20 years. Kanryu is a progressive self-protection martial art with practical defensive techniques and tactics for civilians and law enforcement. As a leader in my style, I helped simplify and modernize its ground defense curriculum to address the changing nature of ground combat as submission grappling influences like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA continue to grow in popularity. I'm not a big person, and I've had to make do with the limitations my small stature affords. But what I lack in size and strength, I make up for in technique and tenacity. This is especially true when it comes to the ground. The ground defense system I teach is not meant for the sporting arena, but for the street. You can't expect your attacker to be the same size as you, and that they'll fight fair. That's why I teach techniques that can be adapted for use in a variety of circumstances by people of all shapes and sizes. This DVD is an accompaniment to my book, designed to help demonstrate the applications of the physical techniques it contains. Be sure to use these two tools together to get the most complete understanding. And remember, the techniques we show for all the different scenarios are meant to serve as a base of examples that can be adapted to suit you or the situation you're in. Don't get stuck on the idea that there's only one way to react to any situation. This thinking limits your learning and your ability to defend yourself when it counts. All right, so let's get started. These body shifting maneuvers serve as a base for learning how to move your body in ways that displace your attacker's weight and compromise their base so you can create opportunities for escape. Body shifting combined with attacks to vital targets provide the base for the majority of our ground defense techniques. Use them as part of your warm-ups to develop the technique and core strength that help you to apply them more effectively. The goal of this exercise is to keep your head and body out of reach of your attacker while keeping your legs in a position in which you can kick their legs if they get close. It also makes a good cardio warm-up drill for a ground defense class. Bridging is used to displace your attacker's weight when they're on top of you, while rolling puts them on your back while you get to your knees. Shrimping can be used to reposition your body into a more defensive position. It can also be used to disrupt the balance of a mounted attacker. Turtling is used to gain positions in which you can get better leverage with your elbows and knees. It's particularly useful when you're belly down and you're being attacked from behind. It can also upset your attacker's balance while you improve your defensive position. Dominant position shifting develops the skill of transitioning from one position to another without losing control. The goal is to keep your weight on the defender consistently while you flow from one position to another. Any time your weight comes off, it gives the defender an opportunity to get out from under you or to improve their defensive position. Start off by doing this drill with little to no resistance, increasing it as you improve. The breakfalls demonstrated in this video are intended for use in a controlled environment with mats to minimize the risk of injury while training. While their primary purpose is for safe training, they also teach you air sense and body movements that can help prevent injuries from falls, whether it's in a defensive situation or in day-to-day scenarios like slipping on ice. Practice these breakfalls from your knees first before graduating to the standing versions. If you are knocked to the ground during an attack, your attacker may choose to press their advantage by either kicking you from a standing position or by trying to get on top of you. The following defenses will help you deal with these situations. This defense can be practiced in two ways, which we'll demonstrate here. The first way is to use a body shield to practice full power kicks. If you're the one holding the shield, be sure to hold it away from your own legs for safety. The second way of practicing this is to have your partner try to either tag you on the head or get on top of you. Tagging the head is a safe way of representing the opportunity for your attacker to kick your head. Use your legs to tag the partner's legs anytime they get close. For safety, be sure to only tag the thigh or hip rather than the knees and shins. If they get around your legs and try to get on top of you, push off their leg and re-establish your position so you can kick them. If your attacker manages to step over your body before you have the chance to push off their leg, you still have another opportunity to defend yourself before they mount you. We'll demonstrate that here. A kick to the head to a person on the ground is one of the most common causes of death in a street fight, so it's important to be ready for it. If your attacker manages to get around your legs and starts kicking your head, you want to protect your head with your arms while attempting to take control of their legs so you can take them to the ground. We'll demonstrate this here. When an attacker is mounted on top of you, they are in a dominant position with gravity on their side. From this position, the attacker can attempt to choke you, punch your head, or even attack the joints in your arms. Or they could just hold you there against your will. The following defenses will help you deal with these situations. The following defense uses a combination of neck protection strategies, bridging and rolling, and attacks to vital targets in the head and groin areas. The following defense uses a combination of shrimping, bridging, and rolling, as well as attacks to vital targets in the groin area. The following defense uses a combination of bridging and rolling and attacks to vital targets on the body and groin areas. The following defense uses a combination of head shielding with evasive movements, as well as bridging and rolling. The following defense uses a combination of shrimping, bridging, and rolling, as well as attacks to vital targets in the groin and body areas. If your attacker has the size advantage, the safest option in this situation is to create an opportunity to get back to your feet as quickly as possible. You can do so fairly easily using your legs to kick or control your attacker, as we'll demonstrate in the following defenses. The following defense uses a combination of shrimping and attacks to vital targets in the body and/or head areas. The following defense uses a combination of shrimping and attacks to vital targets to the body area. The following defense uses a combination of shrimping and attacks to vital targets in the head area. When someone is mounted on your back, you're in a really bad spot defensively. You have the disadvantage of fighting gravity coupled with the weight of your attacker. and you have to do so behind your back. The following defenses will help you improve your odds of escape in this bad situation. The following defense uses a combination of turtling and attacks to vital targets in the groin area. The following defense uses a combination of turtling and attacks to vital targets in the groin area. The following defense uses a combination of turtling and attacks to vital targets in the groin area. The following defense uses a combination of turtling and attacks to vital targets in the arm and/or groin areas. Similar to being mounted from the rear, this position is dangerous because you have to fight gravity coupled with the weight of your attacker while they're behind your back. That being said, you are better able to use your legs to create opportunities for escape, as we'll demonstrate in the following defenses. The following defense uses a combination of turtling and attacks to vital targets on the legs. The following defense uses a combination of turtling and attacks to vital targets in the head and body areas. The following defense uses a combination of turtling and attacks to vital targets in the head and body areas. When an attacker has taken a side control position, they're in a dominant position with gravity on their side. If your attacker is a grappler and knows how to use their weight well, they can easily shift between different dominant positions and create opportunities to attack the joints in your arms. That being said, there are a few vulnerabilities to this position, as we'll demonstrate in the following defenses. The following defense primarily uses momentum and leverage in combination with attacks to vital targets in the head and body areas. If your arms are too short, or you can't get the momentum you need to get enough of your attacker's weight off you, try this second variation, which uses your leg to pry them back. The following defense uses a combination of bridging and rolling with attacks to vital targets in the body area. It's a good alternative for people who are broader or if your attacker's weight is overcommitted across your body. The following defense uses a combination of bridging and rolling with attacks to vital targets in the head area. This is a good alternative for when the head is tucked down so far that you can't get under the chin to push their head back. The following defense uses a combination of shrimping with attacks to vital targets in the head, body, and/or groin areas. The following defense uses a combination of bridging and rolling with attacks to vital targets in the head, body, and groin areas. In submission grappling, the guard is considered an advantageous position that allows for a wide variety of submissions and sweeps. In a street defense context, however, it also opens up a lot of vital targets which you can attack to help you escape, as you'll see in the following defenses. The following defense uses body structure and attacks to vital targets in the body, groin, and leg areas. The following defense uses body structure and attacks to vital targets in the head, body, and groin areas. The following defense simply takes advantage of the defender's vulnerable position, attacking vital targets in the body, groin, and/or leg areas. When practicing neck restraints, always apply them with slow, even pressure to allow your partner enough time to tap. Back off the pressure immediately when they do. All the following restraints are demonstrated on one side, so be sure to reverse the positions to practice both sides when training. The triangle is a sanguineous restraint using the legs to restrict blood flow to the brain. It is most commonly applied from the guard position, as demonstrated here. While more commonly performed from the guard, with practice, the triangle can also be performed from a mounted position, as demonstrated here. The guillotine is a respiratory restraint using the forearm to restrict air supply at the trachea. I highly recommend against using this or any other respiratory restraint in a defensive context for the practical and liability reasons outlined in my book. It is only demonstrated here to help you learn to defend against it. Similar in application to the all fours position, the guillotine can also be applied from the guard, as demonstrated here. The rear naked choke is a sanguineous restraint using the arms to restrict blood flow to the brain, as demonstrated here. The most important principle for defending against neck restraints is to be ready to obstruct any pressure around your neck. The earlier in the attempt you take defensive measures, the easier it is to stop the attack and create opportunities for escape. We'll show you how to put these concepts into practice in the following techniques. The following defense uses early detection, leg control, and attacks to available vital targets. Defending the triangle early in its application is preferred as it's easier to escape quickly and with less effort. The following defense uses body weight transfer, positional shifting, and attacks to vital targets in the head area. The following defense uses positional shifting and attacks to vital targets in the head area. The following defense uses bridging, shrimping, and attacks to vital targets in the groin area. When practicing joint locks, always apply them with slow, even pressure to allow your partner enough time to tap. When applying any sort of joint lock, always back off the pressure immediately when your partner taps. Don't get in the habit of fully releasing the lock though, otherwise you're training yourself to release your attacker when tapped. This is a bad habit to have if you ever end up using a joint lock in a real situation. The armbar is a joint lock that targets the elbow using the hip as the primary leverage point as demonstrated here from a mounted position. The armbar can also be applied from guard. It requires effective use of your legs to break your partner's balance to put them in a position in which the arm lock can be applied. The Kimura is a joint lock that targets the shoulder using the arms as the primary leverage point, as demonstrated here from the guard position. Applying a Kimura from side control is another option, allowing you to apply the lock from a dominant position as demonstrated here. The Americana or key lock is a joint lock that targets the shoulder using the arms as the primary leverage point. It locks the joint in the opposite direction of the Kimura, as demonstrated here from a mounted position. Applying an Americana or key lock from a side control is another option you can use from a dominant position, as demonstrated here. The straight ankle lock is a joint lock that targets the ankle using the arm as the primary leverage point. It is most commonly applied from an open guard, demonstrated here. The heel hook is a joint lock that targets the knee using the arm and legs to twist the joint. Also applied from the open guard, it is an alternative that is often used when the attacker can't circle their arm around the leg to apply the straight ankle lock. For safety and training, always apply knee locks very slowly. The partner receiving it should tap when they feel pressure rather than pain due to the lack of pain receptors in the knee. The most important principle for defending against joint locks is to keep your limbs bent and close to your body. This allows you to better use your body mass to keep them protected. If your attacker does take control of a limb, however, there are a number of ways to keep them from effectively applying joint locks so you can create opportunities for escape, as we'll demonstrate in the following defenses. The following defense uses early detection, body weight transfer, positional shifting, and attacks to available vital targets. Defending early in its application is preferred as it poses less risk to the elbow and it allows you to escape the attack more quickly. If you don't manage to escape the armbar early in its application, the following defense can be used. It primarily uses a leverage block to protect the elbow to create an opportunity to escape. The following defense primarily uses body weight transfer, a leverage block to protect the shoulder, as well as attacks to available vital targets. The following defense primarily uses shrimping combined with attacks to available vital targets. The following defense primarily uses bridging and rolling combined with attacks to available vital targets. The following defense primarily uses shrimping combined with attacks to vital targets in the body area. If you don't have the flexibility, or your legs are too long to use the first defense demonstrated, the following defense can be used as an alternative. It primarily uses bridging and rolling combined with attacks to vital targets in the body area. The following defense primarily uses early detection, momentum, combined with attacks to available vital targets. Defending early in its application is preferred as it poses less risk to the ankle and it allows you to escape the attack more quickly. If you don't manage to escape the straight ankle lock early in its application, the following defense can be used. It primarily uses positional shifting combined with attacks to available vital targets. The heel hook can be defended early in its application in the same way as the straight ankle lock, as the entrance is the same. If you don't manage to escape it early in its application, the following defense can be used. It primarily uses positional shifting combined with attacks to available vital targets. When dealing with knife attacks from the ground, remember that you're at such a huge disadvantage, even if you develop a high level of skill at defensive techniques like the ones presented in this video. Only rely on physical defense to create opportunities for tactical disengagement and escape if there are no other options and your life is at stake. Be sure to thoroughly review all the knife defense principles covered in my book, as well as practicing the defenses shown here. The following defense primarily uses kicks to the legs while maintaining weapon control when possible to create an opportunity to get back to your feet. The following defense uses a combination of weapon control, bridging and rolling, and striking the groin. Gaining control of the knife before it is mid-swing is the safest option, but the same principles can be used if you don't manage to trap the weapon arm early in the draw. The following defense uses a combination of weapon control, body control using the legs, and kicks to available vital targets. As with the previous technique, gaining control of the knife before it is mid-swing is the safest option, but the same principles can be used if you don't manage to trap the weapon arm early in the draw. The following defense uses a combination of weapon control, bridging and rolling, and striking the groin. The following defense uses a combination of weapon control, shrimping, and kicks to available vital targets.
Let go of the knife!
I hope you found the materials in my book and DVD useful for fleshing out your approach to ground defense. But don't let the learning end here. The martial arts are constantly changing and evolving. Be open-minded to any new concepts you come across. Keep what works for you and discard the rest. When it comes to self-defense, there are no rules, only results. Thank you for watching.